Good morning. I'm Thomas Buchanan. I am on a water fast. This is week 2. It is day 5. Thank God it's Friday. It has been a long week. It is September the 19th, 2025. It's been a lot of ups and downs this week. Got up this morning, stepped on the scale, weighed myself. I'm down to 224.0. I lost about a half pound from yesterday. Thank God I'm finally starting to drop from the 225, 228 area. Got as high as I could look on my sheet, but I think it was 231, 232. So I welcome the downward trend. You may poo-paw at only losing a half pound. One thing about me, especially at this weight, each half pound or pound I lose, I feel better and better. So I welcome a half pound drop. I knew at some point I had to break the 225.0 plateau. I didn't know if it would be this week or next week. But yes, I am now at 224.0 as of today, Friday. And that's fantastic. All right. Yesterday I talked to you about look, my whole comment was based around sit down and honestly evaluate where you are and how you're doing financially. Do you have a place to live or are you on the streets? Do you have a job or are you unemployed? Well, if you've only been unemployed for 2 days, or 2 weeks, that's no big deal. If you've been unemployed for 2 years, I would say you've got a problem. And people need to turn off the TV, turn off their cell phones, sit down and look at, their overall life and figure it out. That's why I told you yesterday about places you can go. They'll pay you to move there. They will give you money and or land to come live in their town. And it's not a scam. I realize it's 2025 and you're sitting there saying, that sounds too good to be true. And God knows, I understand your hesitation. But Google towns that offer free land. Don't take my word for it. Because if you're behind on your house payments, if you're behind on your condo payments, if you're unable to pay for rent for an apartment or whatever it might be, that should be a flashing red light to you that you've got a problem. Now, how all this ties in is the more stressed out you are, the more you eat. And the more you eat, the fatter you get. And you get fatter and fatter because you get more stressed and more stress added on to that stress. It's kind of like you lose your job. Now you have that stress and you you fall behind on your mortgage or your rent for your apartment. Now you've got that stress, and oh my God, your car breaks down. Now you've got that stress, and God help you if you have a health issue, and now you've got that stress, and some days you just get up and you say, look, I need a Twinkie. I need a donut. I need 6 donuts. I feel like hell, you know, and you get fatter because of the stress in your life, and the stress just keeps building and building and building. And I mean, and, and God love you. I love my viewers, but really, really, I had a viewer contact me and said she was food insecure. Honey, you're not food insecure. I have a news flash for you. Bullshit. You're not food insecure. You're a poor bastard. You know, back in my day, in the dark ages, when I grew up in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, we had 2 class groups. We had the rich, right? They lived in the nice houses. They drove the nice cars. You know, they ate at all the fancy restaurants. And then on the other side of that, we had the poor people, okay, of which I was one. We didn't eat at the finest restaurants. As a matter of fact, we didn't go out and eat at all. And I love these people. Uh, I can't eat anything that was cooked in oil, nut oil, or I've got a nut allergy, or I've got this allergy or that allergy, food wise. Honey, in my day, you ate what was put in front of you, and you thanked God that we had food in front of us. I mean, really? Food insecure. Again, you're living in a fantasy world. It's not politically correct to look someone in the eyes and say, "Honey, you're poor. You're not making it. Wake up." It's like you just want to put your arms around them and shake them. You're food insecure. I remember 5 or 6 years ago when, you know, I was at 315 pounds. And honest to God, to this day, I've never had anyone walk up to me and say, "Wow, you're fat." I've never had anyone say to me, "Wow, you're a little on the heavy side. You're obese." I mean, do you realize how fat you are? How overweight you are? And I tell you this because I was told, well, you're big boned. I was also told, well, your mama's overweight, your sisters are obese, your brother is on the heavy side. You've got the gene. You're destined to be obese. Accept it. Go eat a dozen donuts and embrace it. There's nothing wrong with being obese. If you watch my channel any length of time, you know I like to gamble. Blackjack is my game of sin. Occasionally I'll go to Vegas and play blackjack. There is actually a restaurant in Vegas that if you weigh 350 pounds or more, you get to eat free. You get to eat as much as you want. I mean, I was shocked. I didn't believe one of my viewers who even said this restaurant existed. I mean, who would ever eat at a restaurant like that? And then I peered into the window and I saw all of these, not fat people. Oh, God, no, not fat people. I saw obese people just chugging it down. And it goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. The bigger you get, the more depressed you get. The more depressed you get over all of the stress in your life. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe your car died. Maybe your car got repoed. Maybe you're homeless. Maybe you're 2 or 3 or 4 months behind on your rent. Maybe you don't have food to eat. And psychologically, the body says, look, go buy a dozen donuts. You deserve to feel happy. And people will sit down and eat 6 donuts and they'll be happy for the next 10 minutes, probably due to the sugar rush they get from the sugar in the donuts. It doesn't matter. You get my point. Again, take an honest assessment of how you're doing. I don't know you individually, personally. I don't know a lot of you, I don't know your real names. I don't know what country you're watching me in. I don't know what what your zip code is. But I do know this, that all of us, me included, we all need a place to stay. I don't care if it's a trailer, a double wide, an apartment, a house, a condo. We all need a place to sleep at night. We all need food, right? I mean, I'm on a water fast right now. Thank God I'm at the end of week 2. I don't necessarily need food right now. I'm not eating. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but it's true. But for those of you that are not on a water fast or that are on maintenance, you should be eating food, real food, not packaged food. Okay, so we all need a place to stay. We all need food. We all need transportation, a horse, a car, a bicycle, a scooter, a motorcycle, a bus, because most of us, me excluded, need a job, okay? So we need a job to earn money, to pay for the food, to pay for the place to live, lay our head at night, right? Oh, and we might need gasoline for the car, right? It doesn't run on water, it runs on gasoline, right? I mean, those are your basic needs. Those are not wants. Don't get a want confused with a need. Those are your basic 5, 6 needs. Those are your must-haves. Now, you can choose to live on the street. You can choose to not buy food. You can go around to restaurant dumpsters and dig out your food out of the dumpster that they throw away. You can choose to not buy a car. You can choose to walk or buy a bicycle, ride a bike. You can choose. There are variations, but those are your 5 basic needs, right? Again, those are your 5 basic needs, not wants, needs. How are you doing in all 5 areas? Because I guarantee you, if you don't have a place to live, you don't have a car, you don't have food because you're food insecure, if you don't have one or more of those things, it's adding stress to your life. So figure out, well, maybe, maybe if you're 5 months behind on your rent, maybe you should move to one of these states that will, or towns that will give you free land just for living there. I don't care if you put a sleeping bag on the ground. It's yours. You own it. And I had another man, and God bless this man, because this man and I are so much alike. In yesterday's video, I said, look, go sign up for welfare. I mean, it's not much money, but the state will give you a small amount of dollars every month. Well, I can't do that. I'm too proud to go. I don't want anyone to know I'm on welfare. Oh my God. Set aside your pride. Go to your local Health and Human Services and sign up for food stamps. If you're that food insecure, if you're that poor, accept a hand up. It's not a handout. Stabilize your situation. I mean, set aside your pride. Okay? I mean, these aren't easy topics to discuss, especially for me. I mean, I'm okay right now, but I can look back in my past. My God, I didn't have 2 pennies to rub together at times in my life. And I was married with a child or two. I didn't have 2 pennies in my pocket. I couldn't catch a break in life. Now I got through it, thankfully. It wasn't fun. It wasn't easy. It wasn't glamorous. But I've got a news flash for you. Life is hard. Life sucks. Let me say that again. Life sucks. Life is hard. Life never promised you a rose garden. Watch who you're listening to. Watch Watch and listen to what's not being said. If you walk by a mirror, a full length mirror, and you don't recognize the person in the mirror because he or she is so fat and so obese, do something about it. Stop blowing smoke up your ass and mine too. Stop saying, stop Stop with the New Year's resolutions of this is the year I'm going to lose weight. Stop lying to yourself. I mean, I've got another news flash for you. This year is 3/4 over. It's not January, it's September. Half of September is done. What happened to that New Year's resolution you made 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago? So you're not serious about losing weight. Well, you may say, well, I'm waiting until my life situation stabilizes because I'm food insecure at the moment, or I'm behind on my rent, or my car is not working and I'm stressed because I'm having to walk to a minimum wage job and yada yada. Those are all excuses. Just to remember, look at all of your problems today, this minute, right now, and know that life is looking at your problems. And what life is going to do, it's going to kick you in the stomach because it knows what problems you have. And it's going to add more. It's going to poke you with, it's going to throw some more your way. And life is going to sit back and smile and say, life is going to say, I wonder what he or she is going to do now with these 2 or 3 new problems. Think about what I've said. And I also had a viewer who, this was back when I was 225 and just couldn't break below 225. The viewer said, why don't you give up? I don't care what the problem is you have in life. The moment that you give in and give up is the moment you lose. And let me just end on this. And I don't care if it's a mortgage issue, if you're homeless, if you're poor, if you have no money, if you're food insecure, if you have no food. I don't care what it is. The moment you give up is the moment you lose. The moment you give up is the moment you are defeated. I'm now below 225. Thank God, finally. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to change my goal. My goal is to be 198 to 205. get back down within that range. Uh, at the very most, my range is going to be 198 to 212. So I've got a few pounds to lose. I'm not going to give up. Oh, no, no, no. I don't care how long it takes, how much work and effort it takes. You're going to watch me succeed. You know, we live in a very instant society. We put a cup of coffee or tea in the microwave and hit a button, and 60 seconds later, it's hot. That's the way we want life to be. We want instant gratification. We want instant results. Life doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. We expect to get on Indeed.com or whatever job site and submit our resume, and we expect a job within a week or two. It doesn't work like that. I love these people who get on YouTube and TikTok and X and all of these social media, Facebook. I lost my job 2 years ago and I can't find a job. I mean, they're not bad people. They just want instant results. I lived through a time back in the 70s and 80s where there were 1 million people a week losing their jobs. A week. I saw PhD people working at McDonald's thanking God that they had a minimum wage job. And they had PhDs. Think about what I've said. Is it time for a change? Is it time for you to truly get serious about losing weight? Is it time for you to sit down and get serious and honestly evaluate your situation, your living situation, your job situation, your health situation? Maybe it is time to move. Maybe it is time to start over. You may have to change your approach, and I'm going to tie this back to weight loss now. I finally broke through 225. I'm at 224.0 today. You may perhaps modify or have to change your approach. Never change your goal. Never, ever change your goal, your weight loss goal. I've publicly said on my channel, I'm going to stay between 198 and 212 on the high side. I would prefer to stay between 198 and 205. Now, it's going to take me some time to get back down to those levels, but I will succeed. And you're going to watch it here. Get serious about weight loss. Forget about being big boned. You're not big boned. You don't know how to eat. And I'll help you. And I have neglected in saying this the past I don't know how many videos, but it needs to be said again. I'm not selling prepackaged food. I'm not selling videos, weight loss videos. I'm not selling supplements. I don't want you to see my doctor. And more importantly, I don't have a Patreon page. I don't want your money. I do not want your money. If you have been contacted on my behalf and asked to donate, I don't have a Patreon. I don't have caps and sweaties, and that's not me. That is a scam. Don't fall for it. I have never my goodness, I know I'm at least over 700 and possibly I've done 800 videos on weight loss. I have never in a single video ever asked you, the viewer, for one single dollar. And I will never. I'm here to help educate you. I tell you, this is a teaching and learning channel. I'm still learning after 6 years of weight loss and being on maintenance. I've accumulated a lot of knowledge, and I hope to pass that along and share that with you for free. Don't want your money. Don't need your money. Save your money. I realized this video was long, but I had a couple of viewers that just they hit some nerves that I had to address, and so I love my viewers. I love your questions. I even love the negative viewers. That's great. You go take Ozempic, and you go take the other. You go do your liposuction. Let's see how that works out for you. Make it a great weekend. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you on Monday.